Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of 8 News Real Talk. I'm your host, Tannock, Blair, and with me as always, my co-host, Julia Broberg.
Hello.
I almost forgot the intro. It's been a while.
I'm here with my Julie We've been in this room for 18 years.
The holiday break was much needed and much deserved, I think, for the both of us, but it does mean that we're a little rusty on how we do an episode of Real Talk.
This is how we always start. You were trying to be really what's up? And then I come in, I'm like, and then you try to get us back on track, and I'm still here like, it's exactly what it's always been.
Well, actually, we do have to be transparent a little bit up front that we tried to record this episode already, ran into some technical issues, so there might be references to a previous recording that the audience will never get to see.
It's just for us.
Yeah. But yes, this is our recap episode. This is taking a look back at the year 2025 and how it was for movies. I think it was a pretty great year for movies.
Agreed.
Especially when we start going through our top 10 list for this episode, I think there's a lot of standouts in there, some real instant classics. Yeah, this is the big. In my opinion, I think this is the best year for films since 2015.
This is the first time hearing this. I don't know how to process this information.
Maybe 2019, because we had Parasite, Uncut Gems. We had some good bangs that year as well. But it also could be biased because this is probably the most new release in theater movies I've seen in a year ever. I think I was looking through Letterboxd, which is the app that is sort of like a movie diary.
Yeah.
And I was realizing I'd seen 67 new releases in 2025, which far more than I usually do. I watch a lot of movies usually, but this was exceptional even for that. In fact, speaking of Letterboxd, you wanted to go over our Letterboxd Unwrapped.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun to see how we vary as people in terms of our most watched actor or most watched director. Basically, Letterboxd Wrapped is like Spotify Wrapped. It just tells you, it gives you your statistics for the year.
Yeah.
So,
I first of all tells you how many movies you watched total. So
I know he's gonna beast me in that because that's all this man ever does.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It includes, obviously, the new releases we saw in theaters, some of which we reviewed, and then also just whatever I was watching at home. Towards the end of the year, I actually saw how close I was to hitting 365 movies, so I
kicked it.
I made a push during the holiday break a little bit, and that was my number at the end of the year.
I love that you're framing it marathon talk, but it's really you just sitting on your couch, hitting play, while Madeline does all the chores around the house, and you're is dinner ready? Boom, another movie loaded.
Well, marathon running.
And you're
it's not one person, it takes a village. It takes a whole team to make an achievement
Madeline
like this.
bringing you many bowls of popcorn tea. You're thanks. As you watch the Toxic Avenger for the 18th time. Right?
Yeah.
That's his marathon.
Pretty much. How many movies do you get through?
248 films logged.
Sheesh.
That's I think that's less than, but it's less than yours, but when my friends hear that, they're oh my God.
I think anything over 100 is insane. That is you're an insane person if you saw more than 100 movies in a year.
Then call me crazy. Oh, yeah. Pretty happy with that.
Yeah. And then what else does it have? It has most watched actor and most watched director.
Yeah. My most watched actor is Tom Cruise because I watched all the Mission Impossible movies.
Yes.
And I'm sure I just watched a bunch of other, which my friend who is a diehard Tom Cruise fan was very proud of me.
Nice.
And my most watched director is Rob Reiner.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. That's why I was extra devastated that.
I think this might be our first episode since his passing. So, yeah, unfortunately, a terrible loss to movies in general, a real legend.
Thank you, Sir Rob Reiner.
My most watched actor was Desmond Llewellyn.
Right. We're all guys. Don't act like you're not familiar. As I'm vigorously Googling.
I'll tell you who he is. He is the actor who plays Q in pretty much every James Bond movie, from Sean Connery all the way up through Pierce Brosnan.
I see him.
And I made a big push of watching every single James Bond movie this year, which on its own is 27 of the 365 movies I watched. So, there's by a long margin, by a big margin, he is the most viewed actor I had this year. And then my most viewed director was Lloyd Kaufman.
Right.
Famous schlock, writer, director, visionary, Lloyd Kaufman. I think the only thing that our audience would probably recognize from him is The Toxic Avenger. That was his biggest release. But
damn, I nailed that because
you literally called it.
Yes.
I watched all the Toxic Avenger movies. He had a production company called Troma, based out of New Jersey, that started up in the 60s and continued. I think it's still running today. They still put out movies. Most known probably for being with James Gunn, writer and director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and now helming the DC film universe. His sort of start was working in various different ways for productions of Lloyd Kaufman movies. So I watched some of his output. All of it is really trashy, really. But there are some gems in there. As we know, as connoisseurs of trash, there are gems to be found, and that's
why this year Tannock is making the really brave, bold choice to just watch art house cinema, no schlock, which I'll believe when I see it.
This year, so part of it was because I had the Amazon Prime subscription, and Prime has a really good selection of B-movie schlock,
which is what you want.
And so that informed most of my viewing this year. Heading into 2026, one of my big New Year's resolutions.
Which he unfortunately told me, which was a mistake. I don't know why you would tell me that.
I am subscribed to the Criterion channel, and I am going to expand my mind and focus. 2026 is the year of the art film, and we're going deep and
like vomiting off camera. He gives me bullets of information that I load into my gun to just like.
All right, I think that's enough of the Wrapped.
Well, now that I'm equipped with my Criterion channel subscription,
let's jump into our top 10
list
and try to bash through these.
Okay. Did you? I guess I'll know if you changed yours. We should have that effect where it like closes in on our eyes.
Yeah,
I think
we'll find an editor to do that.
We'll find
it
in
the
budget.
Busy day.
Yep.
All right. What do you want to start?
Sure.
What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Begonia.
That's mine too.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. When we originally recorded, we did not know each other's lists.
Yeah.
And our same top 10, and we were like, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
So let's just sit in that moment.
Yeah. We're on the same wavelength on a couple of these picks.
Yes, and then we
Begonia is one of them.
Very much, and then we kind of come back.
Yeah. Begonia. Yorgos Lanthimos, he's back again. I would argue, even though Poor Things was really good, I think this is a return to form after Kinds of Kindness,
Agreed.
which I wasn't a huge fan of.
Exactly what I was going to say.
It sort of feels like it's a blending of the more surreal, sort of vibrant imagery of something like Poor Things with some of his earlier works, like the comedy of manners, awkward sort of interactions and intensity of something like The Lobster, or I haven't seen it, but I believe Killing of a Sacred Deer is similar.
Correct.
Great pick. We reviewed it on the channel. I'm going to mention it every time we have a movie that we've reviewed so that people can go find it.
Insanely great score and insanely great performances, especially from newcomer who played Teddy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The name escapes me right now.
Me as well,
agreed.
but he was great.
Cool. Number 9, I think.
Let's say it at the same time.
The Phoenician Scheme.
Oh my God, that's crazy, guys. That's just so crazy.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done last time. We should have been like at the same time.
True.
Bam.
Wes Anderson. He's back. And I think this might be like low key.
Yo, low-key.
This might be one of his best films.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that.
I think it's going to grow on people a lot more upon rewatches and things.
I don't think I thought Benicio would fit into this universe as well as he does. Like, sometimes you can't see an actor in a Wes Anderson universe, and then you do see them, and you're like, oh, wow, you fit beautifully. I don't know why I ever doubted Benicio del Toro, because he's fantastic and amazing, and I love him.
And he was in French Dispatch, but that was a very muted role. Like, it didn't feel as much of a Wes Anderson character. He didn't have the dialogue, as much dialogue in that one.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's mute for most of it. Excellent performance. A really sweet, bittersweet story.
Darker than he usually goes.
Yeah, despite it being a really, really dark and very, very morally questionable characters that you follow.
Michael Cera's character, maybe one of the funniest of the year. Yeah. Like, maybe one of the funniest that I've seen in a long time. I loved his character so much.
Agreed. Okay, number 8.
This is where we deviate.
I think so.
Because mine is Legend of Ochi.
Yes. Which we also reviewed.
Yes, we did.
And Phoenician Scheme. But,
and I'll mention this like I did last time. The director liked my review on Letterboxd. I just want to make that known because it was one of the highlights of 2025 for me. I loved it. I thought the creature design was great. I thought the fact that it just kind of looks and feels like a fairy tale in a movie. Like you're flipping through like a storybook.
Definitely.
And I loved it so much. I know that you were, I feel like, more on the fence about it.
I was a little bit more tepid, but go check out the review to hear all the thoughts on that.
We reviewed it. I don't know if you knew. We reviewed this.
I don't want to yuck your yum on your top 10 list. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm going to yuck your yum.
Okay. My number 8 pick is Wake Up Dead Man, the new Rian Johnson film, the third in the Knives Out trilogy, I guess, saga. There could be more. With Daniel Craig playing the incredible Benoit Blanc. Benoit.
Fedora guy saying Benoit Blanc. Do you want them to keep making Knives Out movies?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I like the Muppet idea. I know everybody's
that would be
going
awesome.
in on it, but I think everybody being a Muppet except for Benoit would be fantastic.
Agreed.
Honestly, Judd Duplessis should have been a Muppet. I'm just kidding.
I love Rian Johnson. I think he's probably like well acclaimed for most people, but in critic circles, sometimes I think he gets dogged on a little, and I think it's unjustified. I think I agree. He's a really, really good character writer, and he always tries something different and interesting with all of his films. I
think all of his films hit a point where they're very, very earnest, and I think some people can become inhibited by that.
That's probably it.
The Brothers Bloom, I just watched recently because one of our coworkers, it's their favorite movie.
Oh, okay.
And I loved it as well. And I didn't realize it was directed by Rian Johnson. But yeah, I mean, we'll hear about Wake Up Dead Man later because it's higher up on my
well, let's go into it when we get to yours. My number 7 pick is Eddington. This one's grown on me since we first reviewed it on the show. Ari Aster's political neo-western. It's incredible. Great performances, very like skewering sort of writing that perfectly captures like the feeling of COVID, which I think it's like a little fresh to be like digging into those wounds.
I agree.
I like to be challenged by movies, and this challenged me in all the right ways, and never felt like it was taking easy pot shots or anything like that. In my opinion, it was all tastefully done, which is hard to do when you're making a satire.
I agree.
Of this level.
It was tasteful. Everybody was made fun of. I think you're right. It was weird going into a movie and being like, oh, man, he captured what that time was like so well, and it's so uncomfortable to be taken back to that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've grown since a person since all that happened, and then I was like, I'm right back into all of this political mess. But also very, very funny.
Yep.
I think Ari Aster is very underrated when it comes to how funny he makes his movies, just in terms of how real of a examination of the human experience it is.
I think that's super true. Yeah, very black, very dry comedy.
Fireworks scene.
Yeah.
The scene where Fireworks by Katy Perry is one of the funniest ever.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, great movie. What was your number 7?
The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I actually meant to this weekend, but I realized I don't have Prime anymore, so I was going to have to rent it.
No more schlock.
Yeah.
Hell of the Wild Island, you're out. No more schlock. That's what I said. It's very much a me movie. It's about, folk musicians that come back together after a long time, and it has British humor, and they're on like an island that's like cold and rainy. I was like, yes. I sit down, I make some tea, I watch it, and I cry. Sue me. This was a movie. Tannock I will bring up a movie, and he's like, that's like a movie my mom would like. Yeah. And I'm like, well, call me your mom then. Because I am a very mom movie enjoyer, I feel like. Like, I'll see a trailer like that, and I'll be like, I'm going to eat that up.
Yep.
But I recommend it because it also has a really good soundtrack from the guy who plays the main role. His name's Tom Basden, who I didn't even realize. I knew that he was a comedian, but I didn't realize he did music.
Oh, okay. So he is like a proven musician before. Like they cast him specifically for his musical abilities and things.
I don't know.
Okay.
But the music was good, and Carey Mulligan is always fantastic. I just trust her to deliver every time. And Tim Key, who's also one of the main guys, is also extremely funny.
She also, in one of my favorite movies about a folk musician that she has a strained relationship with,
Yeah.
inside Llewyn Davis.
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah, that is a winning formula, apparently. My number 6 pick was Materialists. We also reviewed that on the show. Not too much more to say here, just that I think for the people who disliked it, it's coming more so either the fact that it's uncomfortable and doesn't make them feel good, which is a totally
all the
valid.
movies on your list. As we get higher, it's going to be movies that make you feel worse, and Danny's going to be like, I loved it.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Like I said, I like to be challenged. I think that's a valid reason for not liking it. I think maybe another reason that's perhaps less valid is people misunderstanding its how it fits into this rom-com genre. I sort of think of it as a deconstructionist rom-com akin to something like Unforgiven for the Western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also a thing of people have expectations going into it that it was going to be more of a traditional rom-com, and I think they were like really disappointed by that, or at least that's what I've heard from the people that really disliked
I think that's probably it too.
Which is so funny because I think that's what the movie means to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that it achieves its purpose. For those that were going into it understanding what it really was going to be.
Yeah, or people who had maybe seen past lives and knew what to expect from Celine's song a little bit. Because
I also enjoyed Materialists.
Yeah.
It's an honorable mention for me because I enjoyed it, just not as much as you. Yeah, you're not going to yuck my yum, but my number 6 is History of Sound. So,
all right.
so talk about it. I loved History of Sound. Again, a very me movie about folk music, the history of folk music, gay relationship, exploring this gay relationship between Josh O'Connell and Paul Mescal. I just thought it was really beautiful. And I know you think that there are movies that have done it better, but I think
this year was the year of Josh O'Connor and Paul Mescal.
And so when they put them together, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah.
One movie I don't think you've seen. I haven't seen is The Mastermind.
No, but
Kelly
it's
Reichardt
high
movie.
on my list.
That's supposed to be very good. And as for Paul Mescal, an honorable mention has to go to Hamnet, which
100%.
I think is the best performance I've seen from him as an actor. Because he's been very, very good in a lot of other things, but that was the first performance where I was sort of floored by what he was doing with the character of Bill Shakespeare in this sort of
Bill.
historical fiction.
Old Billy boy.
The Bard, if you will. I think I wasn't a huge fan of History of Sound, but it certainly wasn't due to either of those two performances because those actors are terrific, and this is certainly their year.
Again, if we were to all go back to me watching all of my top 10 movies, like me in the theaters, it's literally just like tears streaming down my face of like all of these. And so I think that's
a simple but effective measurement for how you weigh good movies and bad movies.
We're talking about our
How
movies
hard
on our
does it
list.
hit?
Yeah. And you're like, blah, 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 this part, and I'm like, I cried a lot. And so, I don't know, when it evokes an emotional reaction to me, I just feel very...
My number 5 pick is Splitsville, something else that we reviewed for the show. This has only grown in estimation. I think when we reviewed it, I gave it 4 stars because I was a little hesitant granting the 5-star to a comedy like...
The coveted Tannock 5-star.
exactly.
Can't just go to any lazy comedy that's released about some throuple.
But this is with like hands down, without a doubt, the funniest movie of the year. Like I laughed the hardest I have in a long time watching this movie in the theater.
Agreed.
And in addition to that, I just think it's a really, really well-made movie. It's got some great sort of characters and some really well-handled themes and how we see it sort of play out as a satire and what it reveals about human relationships and connections and human failures in those regards. But I also just was really impressed with the melding of filmmaking, the way that like camera shots and editing could all be used to further the comedy, but in a very, impressive way that wasn't just like a cheap laugh. It was always very well done. So
I agree.
Easy 5 stars now.
Yes, and it's also on my list somewhere. I also thought it was hilarious. Just so many great gags. Like you're saying, it also explores human relationships very well. Also, you just got to respect the main 2 actors in the movie are also like the main writers, and they just set themselves up with like hot wives.
It's like the best inside joke. Before you've even seen the movie, just seeing the poster, seeing these 2 guys who wrote and directed the movie.
And they said, they're like, who are our wives going to be? The hottest women possible. The hottest women alive. Yes, yes, yes. And we're going to do like a John Wick fight scene that lasts for 15 minutes with beautiful table smashing.
Yeah, choreography and everything. Long shots, like I was talking, is the way the filmmaking complements the comedy is really good. So
good.
Great
Highly
film.
recommend it.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Wake Up Dead Man. Because it was a surprising, like, I was watching it and first Knives Out, I enjoyed. Second Knives Out, I was kind of annoyed by. This one, I was like, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And there's so much about it that really kind of doesn't work.
Yeah.
But the scenes with Benoit and Judd, like, hold it together so strongly.
Yeah.
And you believe in their relationship so much. And watching Judd grapple with his faith while Benoit is trying to guide him through this like investigation of death and murder, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Glenn Close is giving an amazing performance. You see Thomas Hayden Church. Where's he been?
Yeah.
Where's Thomas Hayden Church been? He's
True.
here. He's back.
Yeah.
I love Thomas Hayden Church.
Agreed.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, excellent movie. I think you're exactly right where whatever failings it has, I think Knives Out, the original Knives Out is the better whodunit classical murder mystery with a whole bunch of red herrings and quirky characters to jump onto. This has quirky characters, but they all feel pushed to the wayside so that Johnson can it's almost like he had a plan for this story. Tinfoil hat mode. He had a plan for this story of what it was going to be. And
we have to edit one on you.
Yeah, as he was writing it, he realized he just couldn't get away from this relationship and kept digging into it, and it just kept giving him gold.
He couldn't get away from his boyfriends.
Yeah.
They are boyfriends, by the way. That was the joke that my friend and I were making during it. I was like, of course Benoit is going to protect his boyfriend.
Yeah.
But like if you're watching the movie and you're seeing a part and you're like, I'm not really digging this, just wait for like Benoit to show up in a 3-piece suit with his long hair.
Yes.
And you'll be safe. And you'll be saved.
Yeah. No, excellent movie.
Maybe Benoit is Jesus in that movie. Have we ever thought about that? Maybe
There's got to be a
Jesus Christ.
reading where you can do that. You can make that argument.
That's my tinfoil hat moment. That's my Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc is Jesus Christ moment. I don't think that would go over well with a lot of groups of people. So actually, I'm going to scratch that and pretend I never, ever said that.
Speaking of religious imagery, my number 4 pick.
Also, what Tannock has learned in the 2025 Real Talk world is how to steer me off of my tangent. It's like you grab the wheel and just like start turning it. And I'm like, wait, where are we going? And you're like, to the next thing. Okay, go ahead.
Sinners is my number 4 pick from Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan. Excellent movie. I loved this at the beginning of the year, not only because of what it represented as, a black filmmaker making big blockbuster. Like, this is an expensive movie that is not based on any other IP, which is almost unheard of. He's cashing in all of his chips, all of his goodwill that he's garnered from making, Black Panther and the Creed movies, and he is just going all in on this original concept. And to see it pay off and him handle everything with such confidence, just a pleasure to watch in a really terrific film. it was a 5-star review when we reviewed it for the show, and I think it'll be remembered as a classic going forward. There was one scene, and everyone talks about this scene, but sometimes like what can make or break the difference between a great movie and a stone cold classic that will stay with you is one really good scene, and Sinners has that for sure. But I think the other stuff gets forgotten, just how good the slow build-up is. You're here for, an hour and a half before you get that from dusk till dawn sort of switch up, and the movie goes in a completely different direction, but it all feels cohesive and like it's all complementing the themes of what came before. So,
agreed.
Great movie.
And again, I'm always going to mention it because I think all of these movies also do it well. But being able to do all of that and genuinely have like funny characters and funny moments during all of that that's difficult.
Make it a good time too.
Yes,
the way I described it made it sound like it's some heavy art film, but you're exactly right. It's a crowd pleasing, popcorn movie. It's great.
That like the ability to, I think people underestimate because they're so silly and stupid, the ability of a movie to last in pop culture through like memes, like memed moments. I know memes are a whole other thing, but I do think that's our version of like little, I'm not going to say memes are our version of hieroglyphics because that's going to make me sound insane. But it's true. I think it's us taking little snippets of art and trying to like preserve them.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good testament. Like how many memes come out of a movie is like a testament to how good it is and how long lasting it is.
No, I hear
you.
Do
I sound
I genuinely, that's a salient point.
Okay. Everybody in the comments, who let that girl talk? Who's letting that girl talk so much? What are we on, number 4?
Yeah,
I'm gonna steer
number
it away
4.
now.
You got this.
I don't think you've ever given me a hype up to a real talk. You got this. You got this, girl. That you need to do that more.
Okay, all right.
Oh, that was great. You got this. Like somebody from the sidelines. I'm so sorry. Splitsville is my number 4.
Okay,
we've already talked about it.
Great. My number 3. If I had legs, I'd kick you.
I'm gonna let him talk about this one for a while. I also like it.
We reviewed this for the show. This one was a complete like gut punch. I was not expecting this film. I feel like even after its release, people are not talking about it in the same way they're talking about some of the other films that we'll get to towards the top of this list. I mean, Sinners included. But this film was so peak. I don't even have words to describe. This is a first-time writer-director in Mary Bronstein. It has some sort of elements. Her husband is Ronald Bronstein, a frequent collaborator and co-writer on the Safdie brothers movies, who's somewhere else on this list for me as well. But so there is like a sort of element of that. You can feel it watching the same sort of anxiety-inducing heart attack of a movie as something like an Uncut Gems, but it's doing something completely different with that anxiety and putting it in the context of motherhood, parenting in general. Like, what is more anxiety-inducing or crushing than just responsibilities for another person or another thing that you love more than anything in the entire world?
Watching a mother just collapse spiritually, mentally, physically. Tannock's like, I loved it.
This was, I think of all the movies, this is like the hardest watch out of all of them. I don't know if I'll go back to it. I don't know if I would recommend others see it unless they know what they're in for. But
Mentally
this is one that will
yourself.
stay with me, as this is like a perfect example of how the extra sensory elements of film and making things more surreal, even though it's not realistic, there's something more honest about it. It's like it's more accurate to the feeling of something like the anxieties of parenthood and things, because it's an extreme sensationalized version of it. It's like it speaks to exactly what the power of art can do in communicating a certain experience. And yeah, just an incredible movie.
The way that it's shot, Rose Byrne's performance is one of the best of the year.
I mean, Jessie Buckley, well deserving. She won the Golden Globe earlier this week. But if it's my pick, I think Rose Byrne is the best performer of either gender for this year. I think her performance in this movie is absolutely terrific. So, yeah.
Agreed. I also enjoyed it, but it was a different, like, it was a very good movie. Again, I do not think I would ever return to it because it spiraled me mentally. Right. But I think it's good. Again, when a movie can evoke a very visceral emotional reaction, I think that speaks to its quality and its...
Yeah. Cool.
Anybody that wants to watch it, just be aware that it is devastating.
Know what you're in for.
Yeah. My number 3 is 2 movies because I can do whatever I want. And I
this is your show and you'll do whatever you want.
This is my show too.
You got this.
All right, you're getting too comfortable.
Okay, sorry.
That's enough. No, I'm just kidding. That's enough. Now it feels insincere. Now the hype up feels not right. One battle after another / Sinners. Because I felt really... Last time I did not include... I'm going to be transparent here. I start tears are streaming down my face. I did not put Sinners on my list last time, and I felt really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm putting Sinners on my list now because it was one of my highly rated of the year.
Yeah.
I think because it was early in the year, I just kind of... The, like, quality of it has kind of, like, fallen in my brain.
Yeah.
Because it was so long ago.
Yeah,
but
it was an early release.
Both epic movies.
Yes, big budget, original stories.
So much going on.
From auteur filmmakers. Yeah.
Don't waste a frame. Don't waste a second. Really good writing. Just really, really engaging and crowd pleasers. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about one battle after another because it's higher up on my list.
Yeah.
What's your number 2 then?
My number 2 is Sentimental Value. Because again, I love sad people. I love people being sad, family dysfunction, Swedes, Norwegian people. That's all my favorite things. It was just, and I love, they make the house like a character.
Yes. Yeah.
They do a really good job of like making this house like breathe with these characters. And it was just really, really interesting to watch how it's so central to what's going on. Because if you think about that as a concept, you're like, how does that translate to the screen? But they do it really well. And I just thought a lot of the scenes of like dialogue between the sisters and their father were really well done. Because you see that so often. The father-daughter, like, you weren't there and tear, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, don't you get tired of it? But not with this one.
No.
I think they
not when it's handled so well. We didn't review Sentimental Value for the show, did we?
I don't think so.
It was going to be, if I have any honorable mentions, this is the closest. This was right at number 11 for me. Very, very good movie. But yeah, good pick. My number 2 pick is Marty Supreme, which is the most recent out of all these movies. It comes out just before the year is out on Christmas Day. It is the latest film from Josh Safdie, and co-written by Ronnie Bronstein. This is the first film the two have made together without Benny Safdie, who made The Smashing Machine early in the year, which we reviewed for the show. This was, in many ways, it's playing the hits of what works in something like Uncut Gems, which is an all-time classic. Like, Uncut Gems is one of the best movies of the decade. Last decade as well, I guess. But I think that you can see evolutions, sort of in the similar way that If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You evolves the formula and puts it in a context. In this case, taking the anxiety, survival, hustle sort of aspects of Uncut Gems and putting it in the context of a sports film, which just works so well when you have a central character who will do anything to achieve their goal, like a protagonist of a sports movie, but then putting them through this grimy 1950s New York City and having him just screw over absolutely everyone he can to get what he wants.
And run into just the craziest, most unwell characters that you've ever seen.
Yeah, throw in a little bit of that insanity. I think there's literally like a beat for beat. I think it's pretty much the same scene in both movies where a bathtub or someone falls through a big hole in the ceiling. And If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You in Marty Supreme. Yep. So maybe that's all I needed for my favorite movies of the year.
Need somebody to fall through the ceiling in a bathtub.
But it's a great like masterclass in screenwriting and things to throw in these curveballs that you never really know where the story's going, but yet still have such a handle on the character motivations and obviously Safdie's shooting style for both brothers has been praised for previously for their other films like Uncut Gems, and this is no exception. It's beautiful to look at. This also, out of all of the Safdie films, and I'll throw in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You as well, this is the first one I think that has an actually truly optimistic ending to it. I don't want to spoil too much of it because we're not really in spoiler talks for this recap, but because I didn't get to review it, this is like something really special and unique to it that I think feels... It's one of those things where it sneaks up on you. It's not like an expected ending because it feels like, how could this end any other way than by falling to custard? But it, when it hits, it actually all makes sense and it feels so earned. Like the very first scene opening the movie was setting everything in motion to this moment where our central character has a bit of a revelation. And that's the mark of a brilliant movie in my mind, and one of the best of the year.
I'm so happy you feel that way. I also enjoyed it. It just wasn't that high on my list, but I just like to hear you talk about movies that you love.
And I also while before we move on to the next one, I do want to give a quick shout out to Timothée Chalamet's performance, because I think it's his best. It's sort of in the same as the Paul Mescal thing I was talking about with Hamnet, where he's done some very, very good performances. I've never seen him in anything where I thought he didn't deliver a very, very strong performance. But this is the first time where his public persona and I think his natural talents playing like a braggadocious sort of character.
Yeah.
Like finally the meta sort of melding of actor and character coming together for this film was just so perfect.
You're like, enough of this soft boy, call me by your name stuff. Let's see him hit some people. Let's see him fall through the ceiling. I agree.
Yeah. No, I hope he does more of this. I hope that like now Hollywood knows what to do with him instead of putting him in Denis Villeneuve's Dune movies and having him be a sad boy for 3 hours. Sorry, hot take. I'm not a Dune fan.
A red dot comes on your foot. Wait, hold on. You're not a Dune fan.
I'm a huge fan of the Dune books, but
you don't like the...
No.
How have we never talked about this?
I know, we'll talk about this another
we'll
time.
talk about that after the guy.
This could be a huge conversation in itself. All right, what's your number one pick?
Sorry, Baby, by Eva Victor.
Yes.
Just so good, and it's always those movies where I just decide to go see on a whim. I see them playing at Movieland or Regal, and I'm like, that kind of looks interesting. I've heard of her before, and then you're just blown out of the water. Yeah. And I just loved everything about it. I love how it handles, I think, a big conversation nowadays, especially since the Me Too movement, is how movies handle sexual assault. And I just think this movie handles it very well. And how it showcases female friendships, this main central... One of the things that holds the movie together very strongly is the relationship and friendship between Agnes and her friend in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it was just beautiful to see. And it's a very quiet, subtle, like... cathartic movie, even though it's dealing with really heavy, sad themes.
Yeah.
It's like you're working through it with her, and you come out the other side better for it, just like she does.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more.
And all the side characters are great. John Carroll Lynch plays a great, literally like 5-minute cameo.
Yeah.
Lucas Hedges is fantastic as like goofy guy that she meets and hangs out with. It's just, I just loved everything about it.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. I saw it because I had seen how much you were raving about it, and I'm so glad I did. I think it's also in my honorable mentions there. The only reason it's not in my top 10 for me personally was I think the last little piece of the puzzle for the movie is the comedy for me, just, and the comedy's subjective, right? So it's just the one thing that I think if it was also funny when it's trying to be funny, because it has a lot of good, like, I think it tastefully puts the comedy in with the rest of it. I think if that had worked for me, then it would be a 5-star and probably towards the top of my list as well.
Heard. Let me just make it clear. The comedy worked so well for me. Yeah. I was laughing. Her comedy style just fits with me very, very well.
Yeah. But the one thing I didn't expect, because I sort of knew what it was about going into it, or like, by reputation or from what I'd seen. But yeah, what you talked about with specifically the central friendship of it was something that I didn't expect. And that was the big biggest takeaway of the film for me was like, yeah, how central and core like a true like female best friendship can like be everything for someone in this position, and that's where the bittersweetness of it comes from, because otherwise this would be a very dark, difficult movie, I think. But that's the lightness that like this movie balances so perfectly. It's excellent.
Yeah. It does a good job of showing that if you have that one person in your life that understands you on a level that nobody else does, it's easier to go through those difficult moments.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned that the smaller side characters as well. In her times of like truly struggling, there's always it's the little people, you know, sometimes complete strangers that like do small kindnesses that like makes a huge difference. It's great movie. My number one pick is One Battle After Another, which we already mentioned from your list, but this is Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the most legendary filmmakers that is still working today, sort of delivering at the height of his powers. This is perhaps his most popcorny, crowd-pleasing work, and yet it's also his most ambitious, big-budget, has so many different ideas and themes and all kinds of things going on under the hood with it. But this is more than anything, it's just, even if you ignored all of that and just took it for what it is as a visceral viewing experience, it's just the confidence of the craftsmanship and the filmmaking on display, the shots, the editing, the performances from every single character. It's just a perfect instant classic for me. And so that's why it's my number one.
Couldn't agree more. That's why it's on my list. It's fantastic. I love that you're watching like the best version of a dad and the worst version of a dad trying to find their daughter.
Yeah,
and
yeah, so true.
I just think that is also like it adds like such an emotional thing to it. Where I was like, I thought this was just going to be an action epic thing, but it's very emotional. Also, I love that Benicio del Toro. I talked about this in the pre-recording. Was doing Phoenician Scheme, came off of that. Went straight to One Battle After Another and was like, I don't think I can do this. And then delivered the perfect performance as Sensei. Yeah. It's so, you only see him yell once in the movie, and it's perfect. Yeah. It's the best. I love you, Benicio del Toro. If he's watching this, I don't know why I look like there's any other camera.
Like her Letterboxd review. You can be number one on the list.
Yes, absolutely. It'll move to Phoenician Scheme, One Battle After Another, all the movies that he's done over the last, all those will just fill the slots. Yeah.
No, awesome movie. I expect, it's very early days yet in award season. We've only just had the Golden Globes, but it did win Best Picture there. I think it's an early place to call it, but probably the front runner for the Oscar as well, I think, for Best Picture. But we will see.
Hey, it could be Conclave. You never know. Conclave could come back and sweep.
What would be the Conclave pick for this year?
Oh, that's a good question.
Would it be Hamnet? Maybe?
Hamnet, yeah, that might be the Conclave pick. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to see what Tannock says is going to be the Best Picture.
We will wait and see. But yeah, that was 2025. Those were some great movies. I think honorable mentions really quickly, just some that I have on my list. Weapons. Zach Krieger continues to deliver. I'm still unsure. Parts of it are much better than Barbarian, but then there are parts of it that I'm like, nothing can top how good Barbarian. Like the initial horror of Barbarian.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Barbarian.
Yeah. But yeah, excellent movie. That's got to be towards the top. Urchin.
Barbarian?
I don't know if you got to see Urchin.
No, I didn't.
Harris Dickinson one that was very good. And 28 years later, also Danny Boyle and Alex Garland returning to their collaboration and returning to an IP, which I'm always a little hesitant about, like 10 years or no, like 20 years at this point after the last sequel. But it is so good, and we have more to look forward to later this month. So.
My only other honorable mention that I can think of right now would be The Smashing Machine, because I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, again, it created a very emotional reaction in me, so I rated it 5 stars.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was good. I like Benny Safdie.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's frustrating when I get it. Like, you can't help. It's the same thing with the Coen brothers when they split. everyone has to figure out who's the
which parent they want to go with.
Which one was carrying their weight or whatever. But I think you could see the qualities in both films, exactly what they were contributing to the previous films that made them so special. Go watch our review for Smashing Machine to hear all my thoughts on it. I was a little bit more lukewarm, but I still think it's a very good movie. It's certainly not a bad film. All right. Well, thank you, Julia. It's good to be back for Real Talk again. And hopefully we'll see you all next week. Have a good one.